Hi, Professor Lane. This is Allison Swanson, your McGraw-Hill representative. I met you earlier in the spring, and you had told me that you loved the Lasko-Baker text for AmGov and that you were planning on using the 2015-2016 version of it, but wanted some more information about actually SmartBook and all of that good stuff. So I just wanted to make you a quick video just because I haven't been able to catch you the last time I was on campus about SmartBook and actually Connect in general. So just so you know, your students right now, they'll be paying $75 net for the new version of the Lasko-Baker text, which is actually a really good price. But I wanted to show you this full digital version is actually only $55 for students, and they get way more stuff inside of this by going all digital. So what is inside of here is this is the Connect is the shell, and what's cool about Connect is that it's the same platform for anything that we sell. So students that are using this in Spanish will have the same sort of navigation. Spanish, English, science, whatever we sell, we've spent a lot of money making Connect very similar course to course, just the content's different based on the needs of that course. So here you're going to see, this is a sample. We have our full ebook right here. So I'm going to click on that and I'm just going to show you how that looks. You can actually search through here like just by page numbers. You can highlight all that good stuff. So this ebook just functions just like the normal, it's just like PDF versions, but actually takes you, like these are all links. They're hyperlinked. You can go to page 45 if you want. Sorry about that. You can jump to page 45. You can go to different places in the book. They have all the videos. They have the images here. All that kind of good stuff. So that's a full integrated ebook. So that's one version of it. We also have lots of different types of homework that you can put in here. We have geography analyses. We have primary source analyses. We have tons of different things that you can use as just kind of static skill and drill homework. But the most critical piece I think that we have inside of any of our Connect platforms and what I sell the most is something called SmartBook. So I'm going to show you what SmartBook looks like for this student. So imagine in your syllabus, instead of where it says read chapter 1 and hope that students read the chapter 1, you actually can assign them to do something. You can hold them accountable to actually doing it. And you can tell sort of what the student struggled with inside of that. So let's say we're going to go and do chapter 6, public opinion. You've just assigned this for me. I'm your student. We're going to have a lecture on it tomorrow morning. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do my SmartBook assignment. Preview this as a student. And on the back end, you've already assigned this for some points. So I'm going to go in and I'm doing basically my homework for some points right now. And we're just going to wait for this to load. It just takes a few minutes because it's a lot of content. And actually, I think I gave you a digital demo of this before. The first time students ever get into SmartBook, they're going to see this screen. Any new chapter that they start, they're going to start off with this kind of this home page. This is a place just to say, hey, here are the directions on how to use SmartBook. So you can click, what is SmartBook? How do I read efficiently? How do I organize my learning? How do I track my progress? All that good stuff is right in here too. So if at any point that they're nervous, they don't feel like they know what to do, they're always going to get this the first thing. They have to click start to start. Mine didn't go directly to there because I'd been in this before. But you're going to see public opinion. I have 0 progress so far. Here are the topics that are going to be covered for me. So this just first page tells me exactly sort of what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and click learn. Inside of SmartBook, you'll see there are 4 phases. There's preview, read, practice, and recharge. Now, preview is how this was really developed is we kind of consulted developmental reading instructors and also college success instructors, and we said, students who read textbooks the most effectively, what do they do? And they told us that they really look at the bold headings. They preview what they're about to encounter. This gives them a bold overview of these are some of the probably important things that I'm going to need to know in the chapter. So learning science tells us that if we look at this stuff beforehand, we'll probably remember it and recall it when it comes in the text. So there's not much for the students to do here except kind of see what they're about to encounter. But the next phase is read. Now, when they get into the read phase, you're going to notice a couple things. So students can actually make this a spread, and they can look at it this way. They can also use the arrows on their keyboard to navigate this too, but they'll find their own way to do it. You'll see as we go through here, there are some highlights in the text for students. Now, these highlights come from a couple different places. They come from the author and the author team. We basically ask them, hey, if your best student was to highlight the textbooks for the key terms, the key content, where would they focus their attention first? And so this just gives really students a place to focus. Here's some of the most important and relevant information for you at this time. Not that this other stuff isn't important. They are supposed to be reading this too, but this just gives them kind of a place to start so that this isn't an overwhelming text for them at all. So let's say I'm your average student. I'm just going to read the highlights right now. And I'm clicking through. Soon, I will be ready to actually practice what I've just read. So when I go to the practice phase, this is really SmartBook saying, okay, you just said you read. Now put your money where your mouth is. You just told me that you read everything. So can you answer some questions and can you get them right about the text that you've just experienced? So these can come to students in a couple different ways. They can come to them in multiple choice, true or false, fill in the blank. So for this one, we've gotten a multiple choice. Oh no, sorry, this is a check all that apply. And not only are they asked to select some answers, but they're asked, how well do you know the answer? This is really a piece that helps the system become personalized to the student. So it's not only getting data about if they got the question right or wrong, but also their confidence. Because you and I both know that guessing something and getting it right is completely different than being actively able to call it out. So right there, I got both of them wrong and I was unsure. So the system probably knows I'm going to need this concept to come back to me in a different way. Now, it might not be the next slide, and it probably actually won't be the next slide, but it's going to circle this information back to me in maybe an easier way next time. So here, now I'm getting something a little bit, it's a different topic, but it's a fill in the blank, and I have no idea. Nope, and it tells me the right answer. I can also click read about this at any time, and it's going to pull up the general area of the text that this was. So I can say, okay, they're probably talking about political culture here. So let me read about political culture. So that way when this concept comes back to me, I'll know what to say, or I'll know. And the system is also knowing that the student clicked read about this and probably doesn't know that answer very well. So as we go through, we actually are not getting any data points right now. We're not getting any progress, but it's not punitive. It's not taking any away from us. We're not getting negative points. We're just not moving forward in our progress. That little coach just popped up and she said, hey, look, you might want to go back and read. You're not doing so hot. So at this point, she's asking me to go back and read and kind of re-practice what I've just read so that I can start to answer some of these things more effectively. Okay, so I've just gone back and I've read, and I actually think I can do better on this question. But now I don't remember, so I'm going to click read about this, and I'm going to answer this question in conjunction with the reading. So effective leaders are more likely to disregard a momentary blank when deciding on public policies. So let's see if I can find out this answer. Let's see. I think public opinion? I think so. And look, I got it right. Yay! So it also knows, so it only gave me 1% progress because I opened the book. Maybe if I answered that without doing it and said, yes, I know, it would give me a little bit more progress. But the idea is that the student is going to be at 100% by your due date and time. That way you can have a really effective conversation with them about their reading and what they've done. And it's a more interesting way for the students to experience the text. So the last thing that I wanted to show you actually is some reporting. So students get reports about their own behavior, but you as the instructor can get an aggregate for your whole section. So I want you to imagine, actually I am going to go, most challenging learning objectives. Let's say that you wanted to run a report about chapter 6 and you wanted an aggregate for your whole section. What did they struggle with the most? You can pull up the most challenging learning objectives and you can quickly find how these things were actually how your students struggled with these, and you can pull up the page, you can pull up the question, you can use this as a review. What I like about these reports is, for the first time ever, really, you can get information about your students before they either A, tell you that they're struggling with the material, or miss it on a high stakes quiz or exam. You can actually use this to kind of change maybe the lecture of how you might teach that next day. So I think there's a lot of power inside of these reports. So this is just a broad overview of some of the things that are inside Connect. Your students get all of this stuff for $55, and it's a completely digital way for them to do it. But what I also like about this and our offer is, if your students, let's say you decide to go all digital and you're like, I'm just going to require SmartBook for the first semester, but you're kind of nervous, like what if students actually want a hard copy of the text? All the students have to do is, when they actually go in, they can click a button when they go to register. I'm not in it as a student right now, but a button will pop up to say, do you want a full color loose leaf version for $15 extra? We will ship it to their home, no shipping, no handling. And so for $15, they can get that kind of security that they're going to have a book with them too. So I will put all the pricing and all the ISBNs in the following body of the email, but I just wanted to let you know that's an option for you too. I hope you consider this and have a great semester. Thanks. Bye.